The other day, I'm watching Family Feud, and they asked this very question. Where do you think a 73-year-old Bill Belichick actually met his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordon Hudson? Top 6 answers on the board. Number 1 was babysitting the grandkids. Number 2 was the Anna Nicole Smith book tour. Number 3 was Thailand. Number 4 was Craigslist. Number 5, maybe they met at the Free the Nipple University protest that he was next door to. Or maybe she was just a nurse at his assisted living. We don't know. We don't know exactly how they met. What we do know is that a 49-year age difference and the control that she is showing is an interesting scenario and is something that is worthy of being analyzed. Dude, he is 12 years older than her mom. This is not just a small age difference. This is a significant age difference. And when you see the influence that she's having on interviews, telling them, we don't want to talk about this, I'm going to hover over that, I'm going to make sure you say this and you don't say that. Dude, I don't know what exactly is going on with old Billy Boy, but what I do know is that this ain't the Bill that I'm used to. This is a guy who has always, done what he wants, doesn't listen to anybody, a control freak, defiant, very, almost a dictator. And of course, hey, everyone different love, different people, everything else, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to put 99 cents on the dollar that if Bill Belichick drove a bus or if he was an assistant vice principal at her school, I don't think that Jordon would be doing so much with a guy who's 12 years older than her mother. I don't think the love connection would be there. Call me crazy, call me a dick, call me whatever you want to call me. Bill Belichick and a 24-year-old Jordon Hudson. As I said in the title here, I'm going to call this Yoko Ono. Oh, no. If you catch my drift. A 73-year-old, Bill Belichick is getting Yoko Ono'd by a 24-year-old, and it's been absolutely hysterical to watch. Bill Belichick, one of the most mercurial, quiet guys, has suddenly been thrust into the limelight because, dude, talk about, everyone's picking on poor Shannon Sharp, and, we'll find out whether he's guilty or innocent, but even the age difference and him talking all that shit.
He's talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come with it.
Why aren't we giving some love to old Billy Boy? Yes, there's been no assault charges, but Jesus Christ, he is 73 years old and she is 24 years old. That is a 49-year difference. How big of a difference is that? I'm glad you asked. Bill Belichick, just to put this in perspective, is 12 years older than her mother. Like, he's not just 49 years older than his girlfriend, he's 12 years older than her mom. So picture a moment in time at some point, like think of a 20-year-old maybe, looking at an 8-year-old and you're like, hey man, you want to dial it down a notch? And they're like, no, I'm not actually thinking about it. I'm thinking about maybe the next one, the daughter. That'll be the one that, I'm on to Cincinnati. Catch my drift. You just be like, oh boy. 49-year age difference, and dude, this does remind me a lot of Yoko Ono, even though it's not the age difference, but it's a very similar tale of like, man, she is seeming to get her just paws and grips on him in a way that I've never seen Bill Belichick, a guy who's been known to be very defiant, a control freak. No one can tell him what to do. He left New England because of those reasons. And to see just the power of the P, man, power of that pussycat's got Bill all riled up. And in these pictures, most of the time I'm like, Bill, blink twice if you need help. He seems to be happy there, though. And again, I look at the story and I go, man, this is Yoko-ish. This is Yoko. Hit the picture here for me, Corey.
Oh, no.
I remember this. I was watching this doc a few years ago, the Beatles Get Back doc. I fully recommend it, and I'll explain because this is kind of an analogy to what's going on with Belichick and his 24-year-old Jordon Hudson girlfriend. I was watching the doc. It's called Get Back, and it was about the Beatles kind of at the end of their run, and they're trying to write an album. It ends up being the Let It Be album. It's an amazing album where, Across the Universe, Long and Winding Road, Let It Be, Get Back, a bunch of great songs are on it. But as they're writing, I remember watching it, and I'm just getting infuriated because Yoko Ono in the writer's circle, not like just in the studio, but it's Paul, Ringo, George, and John, all four in a circle. The Beatles are trying to write music, and man, I remember like, dude, why is Yoko freaking Ono like trying to pretend to be the fifth Beatles? She had a chair right next to John. She's like reading the newspaper. She's drinking an orange juice. She's not even helping write the song. She's just being, a presence and a nuisance and a distraction in the writing circle. And I'm losing my mind watching the doc going like, dude, this is out of pocket, man. Someone's got to say something. And I remember to this day, one of my buddies at the time who was a little bit, nicer and woker than me, tried to hit me with the, is it because she's a woman in the writer's circle? Is that what it is? You got a problem with it? I was like, no, cut the shit. We're not going there. There's nothing to do with it.
Cut the shit.
This has something to do with the fact that she's not a Beatle and nobody else's significant other is in there. That could be a man, woman, or child. I don't care who's in that chair. That's not one of the four major Beatles. They're trying to write one of the greatest albums of all times. Get your ass and go get a biscuit or something and leave them alone. That could be, to put it in perspective, if that was like Taylor Swift, Sabrina, Beyonce, and Adele sitting in a circle trying to write a song, and Travis Kelce was sitting there reading a goddamn Pro Football Weekly, I would tell him just as quickly, dude, get your ass out of there where you don't belong. And I was so proud of myself. A year later, I had found an old clip where Howard Stern was asking him this very question. And I have the audio here for you because it felt so good to be vindicated. When he asked him about this specific situation, listen to Paul McCartney talking about why, one of the big riff with the Beatles and her being in the circle.
The song Get Back, when you were recording it, Yoko was in the studio.
Let's face it, we didn't welcome Yoko in the studio.
I know.
Because we thought it was a guy thing.
Yes.
I mean, even the guys' wives and the girlfriends and stuff weren't really welcome in the studio. They could, control room for a quick visit.
Right.
But actually sit in the studio with us, it was like, no, excuse me, we're working.
Thank you. Dude, I have never, you're never supposed to feel that good about it. I told you so. When I say the swell of joy that came up in me, because, dude, I waited a while to hear that, and I was so pissed off because he was trying to be, oh, you're just mad. It's woman. No, she's not a Beatle. She didn't need to be there, but somehow, dude, she got her mitts in John, and it's a long, historically documented thing you could read all about, but I just thought about it because I'm like, God, this is eerily similar when I saw the interview, and I know y'all, if you're a Bill Belichick fan or you've been following this relationship, I know you saw the interview, right? I know you saw what happened when they asked him any sort of questions. And to remind you, this is a guy who has always, done what he wants, doesn't listen to anybody, a control freak, defiant, very, almost a dictator. He was trying to promote his book on CBS Sunday Morning, and man, did 24-year-old, 49 years younger than him, little lady Jordan, just Yoko his ass in the middle of the interview. Hit the video here for me, Mateo. This was fascinating to watch.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordon Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book. Jordon was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordon right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
Look at her eyes, man. Look at her eyes. Dude, that's Yoko. Oh, no. That's, hey, man, I want to sit in the circle. I want to do what I want. Hey, you got an interview? Cool. I'm going to be hovering right over your ass. I'm going to tell you what you can't and can't say. A 24-year-old girl is telling Bill Belichick what he can't or can't say in an interview. Dude, this is bananas. I don't even know what to, how to fathom just how much, again, the power of that pussycat boy can get you when you're an older man trying to date younger and trying to pretend you don't know what time it is.
They're talking about date your age, date your age. I want to date my wage, so come on with it.
Whether it's Shannon Sharp or Bill Belichick, you guys got to come on with it and try to, I don't know, man, have some level of a spine left, because I don't think it's, a mystery to anybody not in this relationship. And of course, hey, everyone different love, different people, everything else, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to put 99 cents on the dollar that if Bill Belichick drove a bus or if he was an assistant vice principal at her school, I don't think that Jordan would be doing so much with a 72-year-old Bill Belichick. Again, a guy who's 12 years older than her mother. I don't think the love connection would be there. Call me crazy, call me a dick, call me whatever you want to call me. But I did think it was interesting that the specific question that she balked at was, where did you meet? Because all we know is that they met in a meetiversary post. He had signed her textbook. You can't make this up. He actually signed her textbook and had, even wrote at the bottom. You could tell he's trying to flex. He's like, Bill Belichick, Super Bowl champion this year. Da, da, da. So he was trying to do his thing, but he signed her textbook. But, we still don't know exactly where they met, and obviously they want to keep that a secret. So I thought it was kind of, apropos the other day. I'm watching Family Feud. Hit the picture here for me, Mateo. And they asked this very question: where do you think a 73-year-old Bill Belichick actually met his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordon Hudson? Top 6 answers on the board. Number 1 was babysitting the grandkids. Number 2 was the Anna Nicole Smith book tour. Number 3 was Thailand. Number 4 was Craigslist. Number 5, maybe they met at the Free the Nipple University protest that he was next door to. Or maybe she was just a nurse at his assisted living. We don't know. We don't know exactly how they met. What we do know is that a 49-year age difference and the control that she is showing is an interesting scenario and is something that is worthy of being analyzed when, again, I try to reiterate, dude, he is 12 years older than her mom. This is not just a small age difference. This is a significant age difference. And when you see the influence that she's having on interviews, telling him, we don't want to talk about this, I'm going to hover over that, I'm going to make sure you say this and you don't say that. Dude, I don't know what exactly is going on with old Billy Boy, but what I do know is that this ain't the Bill that I'm used to. And man, I get it. She's young, she's gorgeous. But dude, I mean, again, if you were driving a bus, if you were the assistant vice principal at the school that you met her at, I don't think she would be quite as in love with you. So, they've said rumors that friends, everyone else is kind of behind the scenes going like, bruh, we don't, we're trying to be, they're saying they're trying to say it politely because nobody usually tells Bill what to say or what to do. But in this situation, they're feeling, it's feeling Yoko-ish. It's feeling very Yoko.
Oh, no.
Very Yoko Ono.